any advice for women 21 and older, it's do not date someone below the age of 30.
So here we have a 21-year-old Latina young woman who is basically telling other women to never date men under 30 years old. So obviously this chick is voicing something that a lot of young women feel, but they are afraid to say, right? Is that they prefer to date older guys, right? And generally the reason why they want to date older guys is obviously because older guys are more mature, more financially stable. They have more life experience, so they make better partners. They could give them life advice. They can help them out with a lot of things. And I mean, even me personally, like I've dated girls who are like half my age, still in their early 20s, that after me, they refused to date another guy who was not over the age of 30. They basically would never date another guy that was their age again, just based on their own experiences. And that's not, to piss on younger guys, because I have a lot of younger guys who follow me. It's just to say that, like, a lot of these younger guys are being baby these days, and they're continuing to do it. They're trying to disempower young men from staking their own claim. Like they're saying, like, oh, if you're the least bit competitive or motivated in life, that's toxic masculinity. But for females, oh, that's just a empowered young lady. It's like, no, you have to see the hypocrisy in what the social narrative is trying to sell you as a young guy. And this is why you want to get your crap together. This is why you guys follow stuff like mine. I'm trying to teach you to go out there and get on your path and purpose, get on your grind, find what it is you're here to do in life, so that you don't make women your God, right? Instead, God is your God, and your path and purpose is your priority, and it's not women. So for a lot of guys who are older, they've pretty much figured out what they want to do in their lives. They've kind of like become a little more stable as far as their jobs go, their finances go. And for younger women, that's attractive, especially because their only option now would be, outside of dating an older guy, is to date a younger guy who doesn't have his shit together, who is, he's closer to age, like closer to her age, but he's super immature, plays video games all day, lives with mommy, doesn't have any prospects for a job, doesn't know where he's going in life. Really, for the most part, beyond all those things, he's a beta. She doesn't feel protected when she's with him because he's constantly kowtowing to her. He's constantly like pedestalizing her womanhood because that's what he's been brainwashed and indoctrinated to do since birth. So she is having to like choose between dating this guy who's her own age, which is more socially acceptable, but is really kind of a loser and isn't going anywhere in life and doesn't seem like somebody that she could build a life with, versus dating an older guy who has his crap together, might have a business, might be a doctor, a lawyer, or something like that, and is more mature. She doesn't have to worry about him like cheating on her or anything like that, or playing all these like stupid like juvenile games with her. I've seen more younger women lately than ever before looking to date older men. And I'm not just talking 5 years older, 10 years older, but like 15, 20 years older, right? I mean, obviously the girl I'm dating now is half my age, much younger than I am. And we get along fabulously, right? Even before her, I was dating a couple other younger girls and got along great, right? And after me, like they were literally like, I can't date another younger guy again after what I've experienced with you. It's like, I'm just going to look for another older guy to date, maybe not as old as you, but a bit older, where he's just more stable, right? Mentally stable, financially stable, just a guy like that. So a lot of these younger girls don't want to admit that, and a lot of the reason why too is because it's still kind of like taboo, at least here in Western society. It's still kind of taboo to date a guy who's like 10, 15, 20 years older than you, right? Where in other cultures it's pretty much expected. But here it's like taboo. It's like, ugh, gross, girl, pervert, daddy issues. But a lot of these younger women, especially these days, will tell you they prefer dating an older guy just because the guys that are their age are even more immature than ever before. I mean, back in my day, when I was in my 20s, a lot of the girls were still dating guys that were their age, right? I dated girls that were my exact age when I was in my 20s. Back then, we were just a little bit more mature. And even then, we were kind of like slackers, right? I was part of Generation X. They call our generation the slacker generation, right? I'm definitely part of that, and I was definitely a slacker in my 20s. But, you know, I did have enough maturity to date girls my own age, as did many of my peers. Whereas today, it's very hard to find guys who are not completely betatized, feminized, emasculated, beyond the fact that, you know, probably isn't making the best money yet, isn't even wanting to go to college because more females are enrolled in college than men are these days. And so their selection in guys are pretty limited, right? It's like, do I go for a guy my age just because he's my age, but he doesn't have all the qualities I'm looking for, or do I go for a much older guy who's maybe a couple of decades older than me, but has all of his crap together? Right? So it just depends on the girl. And the girls that I find that go for younger guys and refuse to date guys who are like even 5 years older are generally the girls that are immature themselves. They don't have the mental maturity to date an older guy, right? And even if they did, the older guy would like drop them after having sex with them. It'd be like, okay, I feel like I'm dating my kid sister, right? So those type of girls will generally date guys their own age because they themselves are pretty immature. So anyway, let's roll on to the next clip I want to share with you tonight before we close up tonight's coaching video. So let's roll it.
Conversation yet, and the whole talking phase, it's just like, I'm not built for that bullshit, because it's like, when I fuck with people, I fuck with them heavy. And I don't know if that's just the Virgo in me or like what, but it's like, I'm so sick and tired of being in these situations where it's like, I have to act like I don't fucking care about somebody when I do. Like, for what? Like, for what? Like, if I fuck with you, then I fuck with you. Like, I don't understand why it's like we have to pretend that we don't care about each other. Like, I just can't do this shit no more. Like, I cannot.
This is exactly what I was talking about when I talk about a younger woman who is immature herself. So this chick reminds me of somebody that I might have gone to like junior high with, right? Like somebody that would be like the mentality of an 8th grader. Like just the way she's talking, the way, like her vernacular. This is not somebody that I would want to date as an older man. She's not bad looking. I would not want her to open her mouth around anybody in my social circle, because then it would look bad on me. Even though, like, just if you were to just walk by and see her on my arm, it'd be like, oh wow, M's with that cute, like, hot young chick. But then the second she opens her mouth, you'd be like, wow, this chick's trash, right? So I don't date girls like that. But this is what I mean by younger girls who are immature. So this type of chick is not going to want to date a guy who is more than 5 or 6 years older than her. She's generally going to stick with guys who are like her age, if not even younger, right? Because just her maturity level is just, I mean, again, it's like reminiscent of somebody who would be in junior high. So yeah, these are the type of young girls that would not be dating older guys. I mean, this is the type of girl who would be like, nope, not going to date a guy who's over the age of 23. It's too old, gross, right? Because her herself does not have the mental maturity to do that. And like I said, I would not want to be, I mean, I wouldn't mind being seen with her, right? I mean, she's not bad looking, but again, I would not want her to introduce her to anybody, because then that reflects on you, right? It's like, oh, okay, yeah, this girl's young and hot, but she's immature, she has a potty mouth, she doesn't know how to speak well, and she's just kind of juvenile, and she's acting trashy, right? I mean, that's not something that I want in my social circle, or I want to be, that I want to introduce any of my friends to, or family, or anything like that. And also me running a pickup and dating business, that discredits me, right? If I were to be out with this chick and I were to run into one of my students or somebody who follows me, they'd be like, oh, nice to meet you. And she'd be like, yeah, F this, F that, blah, 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 blah. And I'd be like, oh, God, right? I'd be embarrassed. So I would not want to, affect, my own social status by dating somebody with lower social status, even though she's younger. Make sense? But in any case, as always, guys, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think of tonight's coaching video. Love to read your comments. I love seeing you guys in my comments. I try to read as much of them as possible, so drop them below. So until next time, this is M from the 33 Secrets signing out. Go ahead and smash that like button below. Also, guys, make sure you hit that notification bell right next to it so that you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on my YouTube channel. More importantly, guys, make sure you subscribe to my channel, okay? Please make sure you subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a ton. It tells YouTube that you are loving my videos, you're digging it. You want me to come out here to Vegas even more and shoot more coaching videos for you that can help you, educate you, and take you to the next level in life. Take you into a whole new dimension that the mainstream parents, teachers, society never ever taught you about, never even told you about, because they themselves weren't aware of it, right? So please make sure you subscribe to my channel as well. And for you guys who want to support my work and all of this red pill, gold pill, and platinum pill content even further, the best way to do that is by jumping into my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months of Mastery, where I'm teaching guys just like you how to go out there and approach and close the youngest, hottest, and most beautiful looking women on the planet. I'm talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s, the same exact type of women that myself and all of my coaching students are out there cold approaching and closing every single week. I kid you not, every single week, no matter what chaos is going on in the world, no matter what nonsense is going on out there, we are still making things happen. That is the absolute best way to support my work, by jumping into 7 Months of Mastery. And right now, the first month is only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons. It's only $1. And all you need to do to get signed up is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video.